I've been debating all week about upgrading iPhones or not in the state of the various ways to purchase phones nowadays. I wanted to share my recommendations and what I'm actually going to be doing. So cell phone buying isn't like other electronics where you simply decide what you want, pay for it, and use it generally. Since our phones come with service plans and such, it all gets very complex. For reference as well, just so you know, I'm on AT&T right now. I've used Verizon and others in the past, and I am using a top-end unlimited service plan. My current phone is an iPhone 11 Pro Max. But way back before smartphones, we used to just get a phone from a carrier, commit to a service contract, use it for a couple years, and then rinse and repeat. The cost of the phone was baked into the cost of the monthly service, and so they were happy, carriers were happy, and they made money, and us as the consumer were basically swindled into thinking we got a free phone. Along the way though, the cost of the phones were decoupled from the services, and we started buying them more directly. Only phones have always been more expensive, and carriers still wanted to lock you in, so installment plans started. First, we were buying phones still every 2 years or so, with the cost of the phones set over 24 installments. Then we trade in, upgrade, and repeat. Then the carriers got wise to the fact that, hey, some people wanted new shiny models actually every year. So all these more complex options started to pay off half and upgrade, then pay now service fees for the pleasure of paying off half and upgrading. Then it seems the companies still weren't making enough money off of us or keeping us locked down hard enough as customers. So these 24-month plans went to 30 months, and now they're at a whopping 36 months. So how am I going to buy an iPhone 13, and what should you consider? I have two answers based on my use and plan and the use and plan of other members that are on my account. So for myself and my wife, I think it's time to stop suckling at the teat of the carriers and just go it alone again. 36 months is too long for me to be locked into a device. 2 years is about the most I'd want to go with the channel now and my just general like for shiny new electronics. I'd actually prefer to be getting a new phone every year, and that's what I'm moving towards. But I'm not going to pay AT&T all kinds of money, locking myself down, and then paying even more money for the pleasure of upgrading sooner via AT&T Next. Next isn't even 12 months anymore for an upgrade regardless. It's 18 if you take a current 36-month installment term. So I'm off the hamster wheel. Starting with the iPhone 13, I'm just buying my phones now, thank you. I'll take the hit, I'll pay full price. I'll own my device, and I'm going to be free with what I choose to do with it. The kicker to this idea, though, is that phones are really keeping their value quite well now. So look at this situation. If I had an iPhone 12 Pro Max right now, one generation old, Apple is directly giving me $790 of trade-in value on a good condition phone. And that amount is regardless of how much storage the phone has, but I generally buy the base anyway. A new iPhone 13 Pro Max is $1,100. So if Apple is going to give me essentially $800 for a 1-year-old model and then sell me the latest greatest for $1,100, that means my new phone is only costing me $300 per year, or effectively $25 per month if you divide by 12. And now I know, yes, eventually you had to buy the first devices, but let's face it, by this point in time, we're all in for our first devices. Everybody's using smartphones, and that initial investment is long past. But doing it this way, $300 to upgrade, that's actually cheaper than most installment plans are anyway. And so I can trade in easy and simple. No Facebook Marketplace or eBay to sell my old phone, working directly with Apple and not with AT&T. Walk in and walk out and be done having the new shiny each year for $300 out of pocket and free from any other entanglements. For sake of argument too, if I were to take this approach every other year, say keep the device and then trade in a 2-year-old generation phone, the trade-in value drops by quite a bit more. Not quite another 50%, but close. With the dollars and cents of it, I really think this is the best way to go for an every-year adopter like me, and it's how I ordered my 13 Pro Max and my wife's 13 Pro this morning. Now, on the other side, my parents. My parents don't quite use their devices to say an expert potential, but they don't want 5-year-old devices either. They're currently using iPhone XRs, and their phones are paid up in full. For them, 3 years for a device is completely viable. Honestly, I would say just about perfect even. For a true 3-year user, AT&T and the installment trade offers are actually pretty good. With an XR trade-in and an iPhone 13 base model, the purchase is an even buy. Via AT&T directly on their webpage, I was able to order my parents' iPhone 13 base models on AT&T installment plans with an XR trade-in for $0 per month over 3 years. AT&T basically gave $800 for the trade-in on an XR, which is way more than an XR would sell to anybody individually in a private sale. I had thought that the deal was only supposed to be $700, but when I transacted both phones this morning, both times the deal was for $800. Now they'll have to pay the $48 sales tax up front at 6% here in Michigan. However, the $30 per line upgrade fee was actually waived, and that's it, $0 per month for 3 years. And at the end of those 3 years, hopefully another similar trade is available, and they'll be able to score another phone that can be had for just paying the sales tax. So if your tech needs and interests can go that long, and you won't be pushing to break contracts, break ranks, and change devices, then while yes, this is honestly a pair of handcuffs to AT&T essentially, it's a pretty darn comfortable pair of handcuffs to get an $800 device effectively for free. I spend a lot more on phones year over year than my parents will, and I will by doing this, but due to my interest and my impatience and so on, I'll have 3 devices to upgrade for every one of theirs, and I will use those devices to their potential. So the different options make sense depending on kind of your user profile and what you're doing. So think about what side of the equation you sit on and act accordingly. I don't feel there's any real middle ground though. Paying services for faster upgrades, to my research, is one of the biggest scams the carriers have done. Buy full price, enjoy, or take the patiently longer but much more monetarily beneficial full installment term. Choice is yours. Thanks for watching. Please like and particularly subscribe to help grow the channel. Thanks.